The LEGO Avengers Tower is finally here, dwarfing other LEGO sets like it's no big deal. 29 minifigures included, with some very questionable inclusions I might add. A Quinjet, Leviathan, Shitori flyers, and so many references and Easter eggs that Marvel fans will go absolutely crazy about. At least I did, so thank you LEGO for sending it. The Avengers Tower was a prominent building featured in MCU's Avengers Age of Ultron, formerly known as Stark Tower, as seen in the Avengers and Endgame, and as such features a lot of interior details, references and characters from those movies. 29 and not 31 as LEGO keeps insisting, because I don't really consider Ant-Man's micro figure and the new Hulk figure to be actual minifigures. Hulk's kinda special in this set as he can turn its head and feature a matching removable hairpiece, which is very cool. There's 4 Shitori minifigures with 2 weapons and 2 flyers filled to the brim with golden colored pieces, with one of them having this back attachment onto which Loki flies around during the Battle of New York. Super detailed with leg printing, an alternate face print, and extra hairpiece to replicate his look when he was captured at the end of the Avengers, which, as expected, are all included in the set a couple times over in some cases. Captain America being one of such examples, with and without headgear, and 4 Iron Man/Tony Starks. There's a battle-damaged Mark VI Iron Man suit with the scratched helmet and torso piece, but transparent headpiece. Mark VII suit, complete with both Tony's head with the helmet graphics and regular face and hairpiece. Tony Stark with the civilian clothes he had while talking with Loki, and then his disguise as a SHIELD agent during the time heist of Endgame, complete with the suitcase where he briefly had the Tesseract. Now these two feel a bit lazy because the alternate face prints also have the helmet graphics, which don't make any sense at all. Then there's Thor with Mjolnir with this crazy lightning piece attachment and alternate face print to match it. Black Widow, the only minifigure with arm printing in the entire set, and Hawkeye, that should have had a possessed alternate face when he was struck with Loki's scepter, right? Same goes for Eric Selvig, who, while possessed, was a major character in the events of the Avengers. There's 2 SHIELD agents with the same outfit Tony had, Secretary Alexander Pierce, the one and only Nick Fury, Pepper Potts, Alan Shaw, a big player during Age of Ultron, and the man himself. Kinda. Ultron in its first form, built out of the scraps of some Iron Legion droids. Great detailing overall, I quite like the back as well, but it's kinda weird how the leg prints are cut out in this way, kinda making it feel like a LEGO misprint. Then there's Vision, probably one of my favorite minifigures of this set, featuring this plastic foil cape with a transparent lower section, with his legs also being molded with transparent elements, as a way to replicate his phasing, which is really cool. Though, then again, I would have liked to have his unphased version as well. Scarlet Witch with a cloth jacket extension, the exact same figure from the Endgame Final Battle set I reviewed a couple weeks ago. There's War Machine and Wong. Falcon with a neat wings build that had me placing 8 stickers, which was honestly too much. The Wasp with this cool plastic foil for the wings, an extra hairpiece, and finally Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, as a minifigure weirdly enough, with a cool Avengers cap though. These last 3 make no sense for me to be included. Kevin Feige, though a cool Easter egg, is weird I think, and as for Wong and Wasp, I don't think they were ever near the Avengers Tower and so don't make much sense to me. Though I'm happy to have a Wasp minifigure to include in the Endgame Final Battle set together with Black Widow for the woman team up against Thanos. War Machine, Falcon and Wanda were made Avengers at the end of Age of Ultron, so it kinda makes sense, but still feels a bit of a stretch as they were never in the tower, except for Rhodey that was never wearing his armor there though. The 4 Shitori and the 2 extra agents feel a bit much, and so there's a few cuts that could have been made here to include other characters like Rumlow, Agent Coulson, Maria Hill, or 1 or 2 complete Iron Legion droids. Half of the minifigures included are exclusive in some shape or form, which is great, but there's some laziness, odd ones and duplicates, hopefully not for the sake of saying this is the retail LEGO set with the most minifigures ever, though it kinda feels like that's the case. With that said, as a one-time purchase for some Marvel fans, the minifigure selection is awesome regardless of all of that. There's also the Leviathan in brand with the Shitori flyers with all of the golden pieces used. The head can be posed, same with most of its body sections and fins. It comes with a transparent stand and the scale kinda doesn't match the tower, I think. Should have been bigger for that purpose, but still works, and I gotta say it wasn't all that fun to build all of these claw elements underneath, though the end result looks quite accurate. The set also features a Quinjet, and I'm kinda surprised by how small it was made. There's some cool connections and building techniques on the wing sections, too many stickers for my taste, foldable wings so that the plane can fit in the Quinjet launch bay of the tower, features 2 stud shooters with a couple more stored inside by removing this wedge plate here, and manages to fit a pilot that has to lie down almost completely. Great little model with a major issue though. This is not the Quinjet the Avengers used in Age of Ultron to fly around the world and land on the tower. That one was a lot more sleeker, so I kinda don't understand what happened here. Was this intentional for reasons I don't understand, or an actual mistake? But that's not what the set is all about. And before finally diving into the tower, I gotta highlight all of the included transparent elements to display the minifigures around it. While some are just raised in the air and flying or displayed at random, there's some recognizable scenes, like the deployed Mark 7 chasing Tony after he is thrown out of the tower by Loki, Hawkeye's back jumping out of a New York building, Black Widow doing the same to hijack a Shitori flyer, or Hulk jumping on buildings' walls while smashing Shitori soldiers along the way. It definitely makes the whole thing look more lively and dynamic, but I kinda like it more without all of these things that get in the way of appreciating the tower. The fact that there's many of these elements to pose the minifigures means that there's a lot of exposed connection points that kinda bring the look down a bit. But if you're aware of these, most of these bricks can be turned 90 degrees during the build so that the cross-axle holes are hidden away for a cleaner look. And what a look this thing has. For starters, it's huge. You don't really get a sense of scale unless you're in front of it, and it does make some relatively large LEGO sets simply look ridiculous, to say the least. It has modular connection points, so it can be part of your modular street if you wish, be connected to Ninjago city sets, the Sanctum Sanctorum, or the Daily Bugle, which was pretty tall to begin with, but the tower is, well, taller. The overall shaping is instantly recognizable, which is very impressive for such an organic looking building. The roundness of this side over here was achieved with dozens of these new curved wall elements broken here and there with some azure colored curve plates for stability. And the same types of elements can also be seen on this huge angled glass wall of sorts. These curved grey lines leading to the Quinjet launch bay were brilliantly done as far as building techniques go, same with this curved wall that I'll show you how it was done in just a bit. Even the iconic A's of the tower were neat, genius builds with one having a little bird next to it. At the top of it all, Eric Selvig's device that with the Tesseract represented by this plate here opened the portal to the waiting Shitori army. Going all the way down, there's the Battle of New York Memorial, with the names of the heroes that saved the city as seen in Hawkeye's Disney Plus show. The trash can has a pack of chewing gum that can be found under this seat here. On the back of the building there's a tile on the floor with Nick Fury's transmitter pager used to call Captain Marvel moments before being disintegrated by the snap. On the door a poster for Captain America's exhibit, a reference to the museum in Captain America the Winter Soldier, an Avengers sticker, and in this trash container some shawarma and a lost Pym particle Ant-Man and the Wasp constantly used to increase and reduce their masses. Maybe something the Wasp might be looking for in this set, therefore justifying her here. Still no. And that covers the outside of the building, but to access the interior we need to remove some stuff, starting with this wall here, kinda revealing the jagged look of the building underneath. Still amazing how seamless everything looks when the wall is in place, right? Though this makes it obvious the insane amount of these 1x3 window elements the set has. 269 of them if you're curious, with the glass having the newer trans black colored elements. The interior sections are in some cases really hard to explore as the space is very narrow, so I'll do my best to help you all see it. On the ground floor there's the reception of the Avengers Tower, with a desk at the bottom there, a lift door building looking exactly the same as the one seen in the Daily Bugle set, a Vita Rush vending machine, a soda brand from the LEGO world, with an ad on the side. Hulk branded, I wanna say, with that catchphrase, and another reference to PIM particles. Finally, in the middle of the lobby lies the Tesseract Loki reclaims after the commotion caused by Hulk in Endgame, setting up Loki's show on Disney+. Next floor is a lab with a lot of stuff going on. Firstly, the place where Captain America admires America's ass. The sole reason this set has a second Captain America minifigure, again referencing an Endgame scene, and I'm all for it, as ridiculous as this sounds. There's a computer screen here with Iron Man's Mark 7 pod schematics, a glass bridge where both Captain Americas fight, and at the end there a bed of sorts, maybe the place where Alan Shaw would be working on Ultron's body, later turned into Vision, given how there's the Mind Stone in there. Above it, something that took me a while to figure out, but is most likely meant to represent the holograms for Jarvis and the Mind Stone in that particular scene between Stark and Banner. Going up a level, there's Tony Stark's lab with a platform for Dumb E to try and repair the battle-damaged Mark 6 suit. To the left, a little workbench with some items, and something I wanna say is the gift Pepper gave Stark with his old arc reactor. A Roxxon container referencing an energy corporation of the Marvel Universe, a blueprint for Ultron on the floor, and lots of screens on the wall, with a Quinjet and Black Widow on the corner, another looking for Loki, an arc reactor here, and a work-in-progress schematic with Pepper Potts Mark 49 rescue armor. I love this 3000. If you know, you know. The fourth floor has the glass prison the helicarrier had in the Avengers movie. Next to it, a newspaper trying to figure out the identity of Iron Man, and I need to remove this for a couple more references. To the left, a computer screen featuring Arnim Zola as seen in Captain America the Winter Soldier, and to the right, a busted lift entrance, work of the Hulk, most likely. The largest floor of them all has the Quinjet Bay, as shown previously, and looking inside you'll see how deep it is, so for an easier time accessing the interior, we can remove this glass window section that still doesn't make it all that easy to navigate, the lounge area where the Avengers were having fun trying to lift Thor's hammer. There's a newspaper about the Battle of New York on the table, a bar at the end of the room, and two screens with a ton of fun jokes and Easter eggs. There's two ways of lifting heavy stuff apparently, Asgardian cardio or being an ant. Some Hydra files being deleted and the initials of 4 Avengers watching over or being watched over by someone. The other screen reports Hulk smashing yet again, and the headline for a weather update asking who is the Winter Soldier was well played. Believe it or not, there's 2 more floors. This one is revealed by taking out this weird assembly made with a rubber hose to get this curved shape, which was very clever. Inside there are 2 stands with stuff on top, hidden behind this pillar, a #1 issue of the original Avengers comic from 1963, and on the floor a sticker with Loki's shape from when he was thrown around like a ragdoll by Hulk. Finally, the last floor is accessed by lifting this panel, showing us the lab where Loki's scepter is being analyzed, and an extra screen here with warning signs, maybe referencing when the Ultron AI seemingly destroyed Jarvis's. I told you the reference game in this set is no joke, so Marvel fans like myself will have the best of times going through all of these details. And that experience goes even further with the aid of the building instruction manual, with plenty of details, insights and references that can be seen through the pages. Now, I have to be honest, as much as I like the look of the model and what it means to fans, building it was not the most amazing thing ever. After building the second floor, the remaining 3 felt like a chore since they're done in a very similar way, and placing the glass planes on 269 window elements was a bit much as well. But then again, this was one of those builds I was excited to push through just to see how it looked in the end. The floors are fixed and can't be taken apart like the Daily Bugle for instance, which makes it a bit scary having to move this 1 meter tall LEGO product around. I'm usually against oversized LEGO sets as there are to display, pricier and could oftentimes be made smaller with similar results. The UCS Venator for me is one of such cases, but then again, since I'm not a huge Clone Wars fan, I don't fully grasp it. But with the Avengers Tower and feeling genuinely happy and excited about it existing, especially at this big of a scale and detail, I guess I can now finally understand the appeal of some oversized LEGO sets. It comes down to nostalgia or passion points, and Marvel Cinematic Universe is definitely one of mine. Still unsure how I'll display this massive 5,200 piece LEGO model, but that's a problem for future Tiago. Being priced at $500 is surprising given how the Black Panther's bust and Hulkbuster had way worse price ratios upon release. The tower will go live in a few days just in time for Black Friday, links in the description, and purchasing it between the 24th and the 27th of November will get you a somewhat lackluster Marvel Taxi gift with purchase set that to me isn't incentive enough for a $500 LEGO set. But even then, the Avengers Tower succeeded where other adult Marvel products didn't, and I absolutely love it. It is far from perfect, especially considering the overall minifigure selection and some of the tedious parts of the building process. But this is the LEGO culmination of one of the most impressive and my personal favorite storylines ever done in movie history, until Endgame that is. So yeah, if you're into Marvel as much as I am, you're probably getting yourself into a 1 meter tall $500 problem real soon.